Well, you might think I lost a bet, but no, I'm doing this of my own accord. Yes, we're going to review 5 videos. I mean, if I survived Iron Man 2020, I can certainly do this. It's Trouble by Marvel Comics. Hey everybody, this is Perch. I may live to regret this, but why not? So this was a comic in less than 20 years old, which as we get into it is going to seem pretty crazy when you think about it. This came out in 2003. And when you look at the talent on this book, it's actually, interesting that it's not talked about more. So this was a kind of 5-issue limited series. It was billed as a romance comic book series, but it really wasn't. And yes, I'm going to do 5 videos reviewing the 5 books here. To give you a little bit more background, then we'll get right into it. So this was a concept created by Bill Jemas and Joe Quesada. And this was basically, although it's kind of been skirted away from this. This is the origin of Spider-Man. It's the origin of Peter Parker. And the goal was to kind of put something out under the Epic line. I think this is the comic that killed the Epic line, a line that's given us some amazing comics. I mean, Parable, one of my favorite comics of all time, came out from Epic. But this was written by Mark Millar and illustrated by Terry and Rachel Dodson. Those are legit names, right? I mean, Mark Millar is like comic, money god over there at old Netflix with Millar World. That doesn't roll off the tongue as much as Miller World. I just want to point that out. Anyway, and Terry and Rachel Dodson, not exactly, not exactly nothing. So this comic in the shop was really, I think, drew attention first by the fact that it's a photo cover of 2 girls in bikinis kind of touching boobs. And that is what a lot of people remember from it. But the interior art is actually pretty solid. It's earlier work from Terry and Rachel Dodson. But basically, we open up in this comic, and we open up on Richie. And Richie is part of, they're 2 brothers, Ben and Richie. And yes, that's Uncle Ben. And they are going to take the car out and basically head out. And then we also get Mary and May, and they're going to, basically travel. I think it's summer is what's going on. And it's a summer job. And so everybody, the 2 pairs of kids, the 2 brothers, 2 sisters are heading out. And yes, that is May as in Aunt May. And, get ready for it because Aunt May is crazy. What she's up to. So there's a lot of this. They're heading out. They're saying goodbye to the parents. They're going off to the summer jobs. And they basically, old Aunt May's dad is like, hey, I've written down the name of the church and the services. They're a very religious family. And May's like, don't worry, we'll go to church. We'll do these kinds of things. And, meanwhile, on the brother's side, Richie explains to the parents that Ben is gay, so no problems. They're not going to get up to any shenanigans, and off they go. And they get on the bus and they're heading out. And quickly, Mary discovers that May stole a bottle of booze from the dad to drink on the bus. Which why not? So they get their shot glasses out and they have a nice drink. I'm not sure what drink. It looks like grape soda, but anyway. The parents are all proud. Great kids we've raised. Great kids are off to do their summer jobs. And so off they go. And what's funny in this comic, by the way, as an aside, is as the bus is traveling, we get a billboard of Mark Millar, and he's in his underwear on a beach. And it is Mark Millar. It's a younger, kind of stylized version of Millar, but it's hilarious that he was drawn this way. The Dodsons just drew themselves as male and female pigs. So that's on a different billboard. So anyway, they all head out to their summer jobs, and we get kind of this note of kind of it's a coming of age story, emphasis on the coming, where they're writing in their diaries, they're drinking, and May is they're heading off to this looks like a hotel basically. So it's the East Hamptons Resort. This is white privilege resort. So they're here to do their jobs, and the hotel manager is making sure that intimacy breeds distraction, no screwing, or as he says in the comic, keep your John Thomases safely in your trousers. So that's always an indication. And the Mary and May is like, they're everybody's joking. And Richie is kind of a jerk. So he's making a lot of jokes about, having sex. So they get right to work, which involves a lot of bending over in shorts and washing dishes and other things. It's, it seems like a crappy job. They're working really hard. They're in the Hamptons. They're serving. They're, and a bunch of white privileged kind of douchebags that they're doing. So anyway, they're having a summer job. It's lousy. But the two sets of siblings start to, come together a little bit. And they become friends. And, the brothers are like, we got to have sex. We got to have sex. I've been carrying around a box of condoms, but they've been expired for a long time. They've got those cracks in it, which isn't going to prevent the pregnancy. And so they head out to a dance. And at the dance, Richie and Mary basically hook up. And Ben and May, is this right? Yeah, Ben and May hook up. So May is like just dumping alcohol into everything. And then she's like, come on, let's live a little. Let's get out of this dumb dance. And May is pretty skanky. So they run to the lake that's nearby off in the Hamptons. And she rips off her clothes and jumps into the lake and says, naked girl alert, boys. And so the boys are like, yeah. So then they just, everybody gets naked. And they just go bouncing into the water. And, Mary is there. And May's like, come on, take off your clothes. You're not going to get any warmer here. What are you doing with your clothes on? Take your bra and panties off. And, we get some nice butt shots there. And then suddenly Ben shows up behind Mary and does a shark attack. And suddenly they are caught by the hotel manager who doesn't spot the kids. 3 of the 4 are nude, but does find their underwear. And, shameful. They know that they're out there having some teenage unprotected sex. So they get back to the room, and May, this is all getting confusing. May is with Richie, I believe, and Mary is with Ben, or maybe I've got this backwards. Let's see here. No, they both start to hook up, but May is horny and into it, and Mary is not. Mary is like, Richie, we need to slow down. Richie's like, he's like, where are my roofies? But he's like, I don't have any control. I can't slow down. And so Mary puts her foot down, says, no sex. We're going too fast. I really like you. Let's talk for a while first. And Richie's clearly given the face of yeah, okay, let's talk. Wah, wah. Meanwhile, May and Ben are they're naked and getting ready to go to it, but Ben remembers the expired condoms, the earlier plot point, and he says, hey, we'll just have to use some of my whats tonight. And then Aunt May gives us the face it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot, where she's holding up the rubber. And that's our first issue. So what have we learned here? Well, we've got May and Mary, and May is a whore. Sexually liberated. And we've got Richie and Ben. And Ben's a little bit more shy, and Richie is horny. But, he is willing to respect boundaries. They're both up at the Hamptons, and they're having this crappy job. Where will it all go from here? I guess we'll find out. So this is going to be a wild ride. Stay tuned. Trouble issue 2 coming right up. Yeah, we're going to do all of this. You betcha. This was a Marvel comic. It was listed as PG-13, $2.99. Yeah, 2003. Joe Quesada helped invent this. Mark Millar writing, Terry and Rachel Dodson, their attempt to do a romance comic. You might be surprised. We'll get to it at the end, but the reception of this series was not great. But we'll learn more. So let me know in the comments below. Did you read this? Is this a wonderful blast down memory lane? Like, subscribe. I mean, you got to like this. Come on. It's Trouble by Marvel Comics. It's infamous. You got to love this. Like, subscribe, follow me on social media, send me an email at comicsperch. Why do I put my email in the dumb ones? Anyway, you could do that. Thanks for listening.